All right, I'll get everybody on mute here. If only we had a mute button for Moose this morning. Good morning and welcome. This is our intermediate class for Fit Essentials. My name is Sean. I'll be guiding you through. And we've got a talkative Moose here on his first birthday today. So we're going to work through it. I might have to take him off a short leash and just kind of keep him with me. We're going to come down to hands and knees. We're going to stretch out our forearms and wrists to get started. Thanks for being here, everybody. I do acknowledge I'm a little bit backlit this morning, but we had to kind of find a compromise to have some shade. Here, buddy. And keep the computer out of the sun. So hands and knees. I'm just going to take Moose off the short leash. Palms down. Make a nice wide handprint. And then we're going to rock ourselves side to side. Good. From there, turn the palms up, point the fingers in towards you, and lean on back from there. Take a few nice deep breaths as you lean back. Spot to rest. Be nice and gentle here. And then when you're ready, come off of that. Let's come on up to a kneeling position. If you're comfortable to sit back on your ankles, we're going to turn the palms out, fingers down, and then draw the back of the elbows down. Backs of the hands together, drawing those elbows down. And go ahead and shake them out. Good, shake them and then rotate. 3 to 5 circles one direction and 3 to 5 circles the other direction. We've got 2 rounds of some glute bridge action today, followed by a minute of bear crawl, a minute of each. When you're ready with those wrist circles, we're going to come onto your back first. We're going to loosen up that low back. So as you come on down, hug those legs in, and you're going to go ahead and rock yourself side to side. We're going to loosen up that low back before we jump into our glute bridge. All right, fantastic. And then when you're ready, feet flat on the ground, arms to the side, and then just gently begin your bridge action. Chin to the chest, hips rise up, knees pushing out, and then slowly lower on down. All depending on how your day's gone so far. You can kind of decide on how much of a warm-up you need for these bridges. If you're feeling pretty good today and want to start to pulse a little bit faster, you're welcome to it. As mentioned, we're going to work this for 1 minute. You can also get a nice stretch for the back of the neck here. So as the hips start to rise up, draw your chin in towards your chest. All the while, you want to avoid any kind of pinching sensations. Front of the hips, low back. And while we're focusing on through the heels, also through the toes, try to push your whole foot into the ground as you lift up and lower down. Fantastic. Keep it rolling there. We have 10 more seconds. Nice and smooth, hips come up, relaxing down, and 2, 1, go ahead and rotate. Rolling off your back, you're gonna come on over to all fours. We're getting ready for our bear crawl next. So really key when you come into hands and knees, spread the hand nice and wide, starting with your knees down, and then to get started, all you're gonna do is just barely lift those knees off the ground, keeping your back nice and flat, and then we're trying to coordinate opposite arm with the opposite leg. Trying to imagine you have like a little saucer plate resting on your pelvis on that low back area. And your goal is not to spill that plate off your torso. So going forward a few steps, taking it backwards for a few steps. As you're moving backwards, really focus on the heel of your hand, like a nice strong push away. Good, keep that breathing going. We're halfway, center your gaze straight down between the hands, drawing that chin in. Fantastic. Again, first of 2 rounds. We have 15 seconds left. Nice strong push through those arms, drawing that stomach in throughout. Up and back and down. Try to move as much control versus speed. Fantastic. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Wonderful. Go ahead and return to your back. For round 2, if you want some variation of those glute bridges, you can turn it into a frog bridge. We're going to take the soles of the feet together, and everything else will be the same from there. So take it on back, drawing those shoulders underneath you. Starting our second round in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So either feet flat like you did on that first round, or soles of the feet together. Get a nice smooth pulsing action here. Breathing in as you lower, breathing out as the hips rise up. See if you can breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then check in with that head and neck position. Sometimes our chin starts to kind of jut up. So lift the head, draw that chin in, keep that neck nice and neutral. Fantastic. Up and down, keep it rolling. Moose, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. Right here, all right, good job. Nice job. All right, 20 seconds left. Good boy, Moose, you're not gonna go running with that dog right now. Thanks for coming back. Final 10 seconds now. And we're gonna take a moment on our back to stretch out that low back a little bit more as soon as we finish this. And then we'll come back to that final round of bear crawl. 2, 1, and release. Let's go into a little bit of a frog stretch, keeping the bottoms of the feet together. See if you can grab onto your ankles and hug those legs in towards your groin. Drawing the feet in, and then just gently rock side to side. So I'm just grabbing onto my shins, soles of the feet together, and hugging those legs. And now use your elbows, kind of pushing your knees away. Get a little bit of an opener through that groin area. Fantastic. From here, arms to the side, knees up and together for our 2-knee twist. Bring both legs to one side as you turn the head and neck, looking over that opposite shoulder. And then gently taking it back the other way. 2 to 3 touches on each side. Beautiful. Look to even yourself up, out side to side. And then once you get an even stretch on each side, go ahead and make your way back over to all fours. We're going to set up for our final round of that bear crawl. We'll start here in about 12 seconds. I have all kinds of decorations on my gray pants today. We got some mud going on this morning. All right, nice wide handprints. You get ready for that bear crawl, starting on those hands and knees. Lift those knees barely off the ground. And then when you're ready, right arm, left leg, right arm. Just small little steps. Working that midline, working that upper body as you push nice and strong through those arms, keeping those elbows straight. Spreading out the fingers nice and wide. Feel the arch of the hand grip up as you grab onto the floor. And then remember to just keep that gaze centered, looking straight down between those hands. Good boy, Moose. Fantastic. We are just over halfway through, friends. If you can move faster but still have control, you're welcome to move a little bit faster. Sometimes I feel like it burns more when we move slow, though. Woo! Nice work. 10 seconds. There you go. Keeping those hips nice and low. And 3, 2, 1, and everybody rest. Coming down to the knees, child stretch next, toes together. Walk the knees nice and wide, reaching those arms out, and then rock the hips back towards the heels. Bow the head down and send the air into the back of the rib cage. We're gonna go 3 to 4 nice deep breaths. Good, one more breath there. And then when you're ready, making your way back up to all fours. And we're gonna come up and come into down dog. So hips high, chin to the chest, rocking forward onto the hands, rocking that heart back towards those thighs. Try to lengthen the back of the body. And then give a nice pedal to the heels, walking one heel out and then the other. Fantastic. Spend as much time there as you'd like. And then when you're ready, get a nice stretch for those calves. Slowly inchworm your way up. Feet towards the hands, hands towards the feet. And you can come slowly out of that forward fold position. Keeping that chin in, tucking those hips under, and making your way up to standing. Fantastic. All righty, let's go into our tree branch arms next, getting a good warm up for our spine, get a little bit of rotational action going, turning that head and neck. Very good. And then we'll let those elbows start to bend, start to knock on that torso with those hands, front of the torso, back of the torso. Look to time it with your exhalation. Very good. Just try to find that flow with your body. Good, we're gonna transfer that front hand up to just in front of the shoulder, just underneath that collarbone, right underneath that thumb area. So that thenar area, we call it. This area right here, we just wanna knock right on the front of the lungs. Top of the area there, good. Look at all those tissues firing. Keep our liver nice and strong, keep our kidneys awake. Not so much the liver, but why not? All right, when you're ready, start to move that front hand down from the lung area back to the front of the torso. We're gonna just unwind our way, going back into our tree branch arms. And we'll come all the way to a stop. Can't go any further, Moose. All right, tree branch arms. And then just flow through it and bring yourself down to a stop. Wonderful. Side stretch with the stagger stance. Step your left foot back, right hand on the hip. Bring that hand up to the shoulder. And we want to get that little hip shift as we reach that arm up and over. So still opening the front of the hip, squeezing the glute, and then lengthening through that side body. Go ahead and turn your gaze. You're peering up to that hand. One more nice deep breath. And then release, come on down. In between sides, behind the back stretch, walk those feet nice and wide. Root down to those legs, tuck the front of the ribs down so you don't arch that lower back. Good, and push those knees wide as you bow the head down. 3 breaths here, expanding the back of the body. So bend those knees just a little bit more, Diane, pushing them wide. On that next inhale, drive the legs, come on up to standing. And then we're going to even out that hip flexor opening on the other side. So now it's going to be your right leg back. Shift through the hips. We did it with the side stretch. So left hand on the hip, right hand up to the shoulder. Get that hip shift. And then long reach, palm down, peering up to that hand. While you're lengthening that side body, try to fire that glute of your right hip. So try to flex your bum. One more breath here. And go ahead and unwind. Fantastic. All right, friends, let's grab a quick drink. If you are wearing shoes and you're in a safe environment, you can kick your shoes off. It might feel easier and have better support for this next piece. We're going to get ready for some single leg work. So depending upon your strength, you can practice some single leg balance. If those of you that are experienced here and want some more difficulty, we'll be working that single leg deadlift, coming up into a high knee position. Just make sure that you have good control and stability through the hips. We'll be practicing a full minute on one side. In between sides, we'll do a short stretch. And then after we do both sides, that single leg balance practice or the deadlift practice, we'll be coming down to the forearms for option of a forearm plank or some walk-ups. All right, we're gonna get started here in about 20 seconds. If you know your body and you want to hold weights, you're welcome to hold something nice and light. Otherwise, it's gonna be our first of 2 rounds. You can always add weight on round 2. To set up for this, toes forward, chest tall, soft bend of the knee. Let's start with your left leg as that support leg. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. Nice and controlled. If you're choosing that deadlift option, long spine as the chest comes forward, the thigh goes back. And then with a minute to practice this, we're gonna come all the way through to that high knee position at the top. So draw the knee up, lifting up to those hips, taking your time as you reach back down towards that foot. Squeeze those shoulders and standing through. Good. Nice. So Diane, you could also practice the standing tall with a knee lift here. You don't have to do that forward hinge if that throws your hips a little bit off balance. Down. Want to be as level as you can. Nice. Good, Jean. Take your time. Draw that stomach in. Great position, Kathy. Finding that hamstring. Pulling all the way through. Good. Got about 15 seconds left. Can come a little bit closer. So Sharon, before you go into that next rep, stand tall, squeeze those shoulders back, and then nice and controlled as you reach down. Good, Amy. And finishing in 3, 2, 1, and everybody rest. Should have been on that left leg in between sides. Just a short break here. We're gonna circle through the hips. Loosen it all up. And then reverse circles the other way. Fantastic. All right, so glare on my watch. 10 seconds, and we'll be back to the same practice on the right leg. Place that foot down, draw the belly up and in, soft bend the knees, and 2, 1, here we go. So holding weights as you choose. I want your thigh and your torso to like move in conjunction with each other. So my chest comes forward, my thigh goes high. Yep, and coming all the way through to that high knee position. Gripping the toes. Excellent. Before you transfer into that second rep or third rep, lift up, squeeze the shoulders back. All those little tricks that we use to keep our balance nice and strong. Good, halfway through. Come on over and cue you all a little bit better. There you go. Nice, Diane. Looking strong, Sharon. There you go. Nice, Jean. Good. You focus on that spot. Good. 15 seconds. 1 or 2 more times. Great control. Standing smooth. Good. Maybe the final one. 5 seconds. Try not to rush these motions. And 3, 2, 1. When you finish that rotation, making your way down, coming onto your forearms. I'll show you a couple options here. So if the plank is a challenge for you, you can also do it from an elevated position. Those of you that are holding nice and strong for a long plank of a minute plus, you can start to work the walk-ups where you'll shift your weight to one hand, spread the hand, press it down, you'll come up to a support and then come back down. So then you would go up on the other hand. 3, 2, 1, here we go. So either holding this forearm plank, we're gonna have 45 seconds to practice this, drawing that stomach in. If you want that extra challenge, you can work the walk-ups. Squeezing the tush, really pushing strong through those hands, coming back down to the forearms. That's our first 15 seconds. We'll have 30 seconds left. Very good. Moving well. Nice, strong position. Those hips nice and level. There's our 30-second mark. 15 seconds left. Whew. Fantastic. Good. Nice, holding strong. 5 more seconds and 3, 2, 1, and everybody pause. Good. Come into hands and knees. Before we stand up to go to the other side, we're going to get some good openings for the mid-back. Take one hand behind the head, breathing in, elbow to the opposite elbow. We're going to go 5 times on each side, our mid-back rotations. Following that elbow, looking up towards the sky, following it with your gaze. Good. Breathing in as you close, breathing out as you rotate open. Awesome. When we have a good rotation through the rib cage and that mid back, we have less compensation patterns through our spine and our low back. After you finish 5 on that one side, same thing on that second arm, hand behind the head, breathing in. When you exhale on that rotation, it gives you just a little bit more space through that rib cage to be able to rotate open, get that movement. Similar motion to when we need to look behind us in the car. I know we have all those automatic mirrors and signals. Sometimes we don't always rely on that, but we should always want to be able to feel like we can check our blind spots. Once you finish 5 on this second side, feel free to grab a drink and then make your way up to standing. We're going to start round 2 in 30 seconds. Those of you wearing the bands, we're going to be coming up on that our first 20 minutes of the session. So go ahead and let your air out. Buddy, you can't be running away from me. I'm going to help. And this is our second of 2 rounds. So we back that single leg deadlift on your left leg. You want to hold some weight this time, you can. And if anyone wants to do a regular 2-legged deadlift instead, you're welcome to do that. All right, toes pointing forward. Squeeze those shoulders back. And when you're ready, long spine as you reach down towards that downside foot. Coming all the way through, squeeze the shoulders back. Drawing that knee nice and high. Hinging forward. Pulling through. Reset as needed. And with control. A nice quiet morning here today. I shouldn't say that too soon. Should I move halfway? That's the first 30 seconds. We're going to practice for another 30. Good, Diane. We can also just practice, not just, but you can practice your balance standing tall without the hinge. Working on keeping those hips nice and level. Fantastic. 20 seconds left, everyone. Controlling down. Moose is watching y'all too. Yeah, take your time, Amy. Maybe one more time. You got it, Jean. Nice straight arm with that weight. There you go. Reaching for it. Pull that leg up and through, and everybody rest. Great job. Take note, that should have been your left leg down in between sides. We're going to go a wide base stance, inner thigh stretch. Reaching your arms straight out. And then just nice and gentle here, sinking into a little bit of a side lunge. Good, walk the feet a little wider, Diane, so that they're well outside the hips, and then make sure we push the knees wide so they don't drop in as we sink into that second side. Good. Once or twice more on each direction. Feel that foot grip down, knees tracking out, and then reach the arms straight out to keep your chest tall. Fantastic. Even yourself out side to side. If you want to grab a quick drink, we're going to be starting that second leg here in 20 seconds. So it should be your right leg. This will be the end of the balance work for today. Take some patience to practice that balance work, but it pays off. Going in 3, 2, 1. Draw the belly up, squeeze those shoulders back, and moving with control. Reaching down. Remember, as you stand all the way up, then draw that knee nice and high. Good. Reset before you come into that next round. Gripping that downside foot down. Awesome. Helps to kind of find a spot to focus on, maybe about 3 to 4 feet out in front of you. Moving well. Stay patient, keeping those hips level. 30 seconds to go. If anyone's feeling wobbly with that bent over position, just stand tall. Focus on that single leg balance for the rest of this exercise. Want to really be patient that we don't irritate our hips by practicing too much too soon. Good. 12 seconds. There you go. Great hold, Diane. That's nice, Kathy. You got it, Jean, nice and level. And 3, 2, 1, and everybody rest. Making your way down to your mat. Second round of that forearm plank with the option of the walk up. Good. We'll give you every 15 seconds. Coming on down, palms down on the forearms. And we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Hips and shoulders nice and level. If you want to do those walk-ups, you're going to come onto the hand with the fingers spread nice and wide. Really push strong through. I think about pushing off both my forearm as well as the palm that's down there. Good. We're over 15 seconds in. There's our first 20. Once again, we've got 45 seconds on this interval. Anytime you feel like you're not staying level, put the knees down, come off and rest. Just 35 seconds in. We have 10 seconds left. Almost done. And 3, 2, 1. All done there. Great job. Coming onto the knees, we're going to open up those inner thighs next. So from hands and knees, take a leg, kick it out to the side. Grip those toes down once again. And then we're going to rock the hip back towards the heel. Take the arm of your outstretched leg. Reach across the other side of the body. And then bow that head down. Get a little bit of a side stretch at the same time. Pausing that back position for a couple of breaths. And then if you can come out of it, rocking your body back forward. And then sinking in once again. Bowing down. Pausing for a couple of breaths in this outstretched position. Wonderful. Breathing in as you rock forward. Breathing out as you rock back. Good. Go ahead and walk that outer leg in between sides. Let's take it between about 3 to 4 cycles of a cat-cow. So you're going to breathe in as you arch into that like angry kitty cat back, drawing that chin in towards the chest, and then a gentle exhale, lifting the head, drawing those shoulders back. Get some solid movement through that spinal, keeping that spine moving. Got some single arm deadlifts coming up next. So we work some single legs. Next, we're going to be working the single arm, but still that hinging motion. And we'll have some squatting options in between sides. Good. Final time on that cat-cow, and then we'll open up that second inner thigh. All right, here we go. So kick out your second leg. Instead of staying on the side of the ankle, grip the toes down. Take that same side arm, reach it across the body, and now bow the head down as you rock the hips back, holding this back position for a couple of breaths, and we'll do it 3 times. Good, bringing it forward, and then rocking back, head down. One more time, bringing it forward, rocking it back, and breathe here. Fantastic. If you prefer to stretch your quads from the floor, you're welcome to stay down here and do it from a sideline. Otherwise, as we make our way up to our feet, we're going to stretch our quads first. So either staying down, laying on your side, or coming up to standing. All right, whatever position you choose, let's go ahead and find a leg, grabbing that foot, pulling the heel towards your glute. We're going to hold this one for 20. So you can balance here or challenge your balance a little bit more or steady yourself somewhere. Eyes up. Watch that tendency to lean back. 10 more seconds. And 2, 1. Release that side. And same thing on the second side. Draw everything up and in. Grabbing that foot. 20 seconds from here. For being a good dog, Moose. He just didn't want to be tied up. If I let him leave him off the chain, he doesn't bark at me. So we're working it out here. 3, 2, 1, and release that side. Great work. All right, friends. So as mentioned, we're going to be doing a single leg, not single leg. We already did that part. Now we're going to go single arm. So a light to moderate weight. We're going to hold it in one arm. You're going to have a nice wide base stance, and you're going to bring it down. Typically, I go to about mid-shin here because now I'm holding this weight parallel to the ground. If I had a kettlebell or something that was sitting higher off the ground, I might go all the way. Otherwise, just mid-shin, squeeze the glutes and stand. In between sides, we're going to be doing some squatting with the option of a thruster if you want some overhead work this morning. So let's go ahead and warm up some squats together. Set the feet about hip width apart. I recommend without weight to start, setting those hips back, reaching those arms out. As you sit back into those heels, push the big toe down. Good. And then lift up through the belly, holding nice and strong through all those muscles of the pelvis. Excellent. Good. Keeping the eyes looking straight ahead. Help keep that chest tall. Heck yeah, crew. Very strong. And resting there. Good. So we'll do single arm deadlift on one side. Then we'll squat with the option of the thruster. Then we'll come back, single arm deadlift on the second side. And then we'll finish with some blood flow work, some jump jacks, some step jacks. We're going to have upwards of 5 times to do those circuits, 30 seconds on each exercise. If the energy is a little bit low today, then join us for every other round. Otherwise, we're going to get started here in 20 seconds. So feel free to grab a drink. As we progress through the motions, I'll give you the option instead of the single arm deadlift on the later reps. If you want to do a high pull, I'll talk about that when we get closer to it. In the meantime, set the feet just outside the hips, draw the belly in, and 2, 1, here we go. Long spine. Just take note of which arm is holding the weight this time. Breathing in as you lower, breathing out as you stand. As I mentioned, first of 5 rounds. So have some level of pacing, just a little bit slower so that you can either finish at the same tempo or ideally, maybe you're even moving a little bit faster as we move through. We're over halfway. As you stand tall, think about trying to lift the top of your head up to the sky. And 2, 1, and rest. Great job. Getting ready for squats in between sides. You can hold a weight if you'd like. I'm going to show it without weight on this first round. All right, slight toe out. And here we go. So if you're not holding weight, arms reach out, and then I'll still reach up to overhead. So I'll reach them straight out. As I stand tall, I simply raise the arms to overhead. Wonderful. I like your range of motion to be that first priority today. So instead of speed, getting that full range, ideally sinking your hips down below the knees. If you can hold nice and neutral through the spine as you do. Otherwise, just meet your body where it is. And when you finish that rep, go ahead and rest, making your way back to the single arm deadlift, this time in your second arm. So I was holding my right hand. Most of you were in your left. Now I'm going to go to my left or your right. Tuck the hips under you. 2, 1, and here we go. Ensure you're using your upper body. Like feel that shoulder blade drawing back so that weight stays close to your center of gravity. Nice. Awesome. Great posture, Sharon. Standing straight up at the top. Feel your body, like squeeze those shoulders back, squeeze the glutes. Sometimes we cheat ourselves out of that top position, but we don't want to overcompensate by leaning back. One more time, friends. And resting there. Nice job. Set the weights down. Clear your space. And then as soon as you get to it, we're going to go either a step jack, or those of you that want to jump and do a traditional jumping jacks, you're welcome to it. Sorry, Moose, stepping on your little nose there. Good. If you're stepping here, tap your index fingers in front of the body and overhead. Try to make those complete circles, or you can clap. Clapping is a great way to like move some energy, generate some positive energy, and just smile as you move here. Just like a gentle smile, enjoying yourself. And 2, 1, and everybody rest. Good job. We'll take 30 seconds. We'll be back for round 2. 2 of 5. So you have a little bit heavier weight you'd like to use. I'm going to stick with the single arm deadlift, and I'll show you the high pull option starting with round 3. Now I'm going to move to a kettlebell, so it's a little bit higher off the ground. 10 seconds. Walk those feet about hip width apart. Tuck the hips under so you're nice and neutral to the belly. Bowing down and begin. Squeeze and stand. Breathing in as you come down. Breathing out as you stand strong. Be intentional. Try to squeeze the tush. Use those big muscles, and I mean that in a complimentary way. The big muscles of your glutes. They're one of the most powerful muscles of our body. So you want to keep that power, keep it strong. Good, nice, Diane. And rest, everyone. Good job getting ready for your squats or thrusters. If you'd like to hold some weight this time, either one weight underneath the chin or one weight in each hand. Slight toe out. And when you get there, you can begin. Down and up. Watch that tendency to sway back as you press to overhead. So similar to how we work those deadlifts, even though our body's in a different position, we're still squeezing the glutes at the top. This time to keep us from overarching as we reach up to overhead. Wonderful. 1 or 2 more times. And rest and rotate. Solid job. Setting that weight down, making your way back to the single arm deadlift. I was in my right arm. Now I'm going to be in that left arm. Tuck the hips under. When you get there, you can begin. See if you can breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Back to that long spine position. You want to try to feel your hips pushing straight back. Fantastic. Good. That bent over position. Good. Breathing in on the down, breathing out on the up. Allowing that head and neck to move with the rest of the torso. Last one. And rest. Good job. Back to the blood flow piece. We did some jumper step jacks last round on round 2. Either a running high knees or a march and punch. Here we go. 30 seconds. Awesome. Yep, you're welcome to run in place if you want a faster tempo. My Achilles heel has been talking to me just a little bit recently, so I'm just going to do a little bit less running and jumping. There you go. Good. Eyes up, hands high. 5 more seconds. We'll have a 30-second break. 2, 1, and there's the end of round 2. Nice work. 30 seconds. Now, if you want to start doing that high pull option, it's meant to be done with a relatively light weight. Similar motion on the hinge. As I stand tall, my elbow comes up above the torso. So I hinge over, stand tall, and I finish with that nice high elbow. Okay, so that's an option, or just stick with what we've been doing. All right, getting ready to go. Tucking the hips under, eyes up, and begin. So single arm. You're choosing to do that high pull. You shouldn't have any pain in that motion. So if the collarbone doesn't feel quite right, something feels a little bit off, don't force yourself into that movement pattern. Please talk with me afterwards about it as well, so we can talk about some different exercises to help with that. Good, everyone. Long spine, eyes up as you stand tall. Last one, and rest. Good job. We have our squats or thrusters in between sides. I'm gonna be holding one weight in each arm this time. Set the feet for the squat. This is our middle round, everyone. 2, 1, and move. Awesome. Now that you know that we're that midway through, you can kind of check in with yourself. How are your energy levels feeling? You're looking to stay nice and steady. If it feels a little bit intimidating that we are the middle round, then just pace yourself. If you're like, man, we're going to be over halfway after this, then just pick up that tempo a little bit. Final time, and rest. Fantastic. We're back to that second arm of the deadlift with the option of the high pull. Nice wide stance. Draw the stomach in. 2, 1, begin. Hinging over. Either standing straight up and down like we did the first 2 rounds, or as you stand tall, following it through with that elbow up above the shoulder. Good. Yep. Sometimes people want to pull the elbow back behind, but I want you to go straight up like you're trying to pull it as close to the ceiling as you can. Beautiful. Nice, Kathy. Good movements. 2, 1, resting there. Awesome. Third round of blood flow work. On the odd rounds, we're going to go back to the jump jacks. On the even round, we'll go back to the high knee. So as soon as you get there, go ahead and begin. You guys are doing a great job, but you're getting a little bit far away. Woo! That's right. Jump it out. You're also welcome to dance here. Halfway through, everybody. 15 seconds left. If you can't jump all the way, but you could get a little bounce in your body, that's also really beneficial for your lymphatic system. It's kind of bouncing around a little bit. 3, 2, 1, and that completes round 3. Yay! 2 to go. Grab a drink. 20 seconds will be into our 4th round. If you're feeling a little fatigued, maybe you take the 4th round off and join us for the 5th and final round. Y'all are welcome to stick with those high pulls if you chose. I'm going to go back to my heavier option on the single arm deadlift. So tuck the hips under, eyes up, squeeze those shoulders back, and begin. Here we go for round 4. Breathing in as you draw that belly in, breathing out, squeezing the glutes, standing tall. Feeling that body push through the legs. That's where you're generating that force. So the belly supports the spine, and those legs are generating that downward force. And obviously we're holding the weight in the hands, so we get to use those lats, those big wing-like muscles of our back, connects into the back of the arm, and that's what's engaging to hold that weight close to the body. Good. 5 seconds. 2, 1, and pausing there. We have the squats or thrusters in between sides. Slight toe out, eyes up and forward. When you get ready, you can go. Nice. Push those knees wide, sitting those hips back. And you don't have to do that overhead piece if you just want to work that squat. Eyes up and forward, halfway through. Awesome job. Woo! Round 4, everyone. Almost through with these squats. And resting there. Great work. Second arm of that deadlift. Actually, as you get tired, check back in. Make sure you're still setting the stomach each time. No arch of the spine. Bowing down and begin. Another piece to pay attention to as you get tired is not letting your hips shift to one side. Sometimes they'll be likely to shift towards the side that's holding the weight. Just try to kind of have some awareness. Make sure you're pushing those hips straight back. Nice work. and 2, 1. That concludes round 4. As mentioned, on our even rounds, we'll go back to either that running high knee or the march and punch. 2, 1, and 30 seconds starts now. Woo. Good. Hands nice and high, eyes up. There you go. Marching around your area. Feel free to add a little skip to it, a little hop in your step. 10 seconds. There you go, nice and persistent. Knees up, toes up. And 2, 1. Final 30-second break before our 5th and final round. Great job. If you're feeling a little bit stiff in the low back, instead of doing a single arm deadlift in this last round, you could get your weight and just hold it with 2 hands. I'm gonna be doing 2 rounds of a double arm deadlift. It's a little bit variation. All right, draw that stomach in, tuck the hips under, sorry, Moose. And when you're ready, here we go. So again, I'm holding on with 2 hands. Had a little bit of a heavier workout yesterday, feeling a little bit stiff. So sometimes I'm not the only one feeling stiff. Good. That double arm deadlift will take a little bit less strain off of one side versus the other. Breathing in to lower, long spine as you stand tall. Awesome. There you go, Sharon. Nice high pulls and resting there. Final bit of thrusters. So whatever weight that maybe will challenge you, but you can still hold good technique. Go ahead and grab that weight for your final set. All right, everyone. 2, 1, and here we go. Last bit of squats. Good. If you're feeling strong, you can think about actively pulling yourself down to that squat, sitting those hips back, pushing those knees wide, and then similar to that deadlift, but with the chest tall, you're still generating the force with those legs, driving straight down into the earth. Awesome. Almost done. And pause. Woo! All right. Final bit of deadlifts. Or if you just want a full break, you could do a little bit of a good morning. So with or without weights, I'll show the good morning for this last bit. So if you want to hold weight, go for it. Otherwise, long spine. Those of you who are balancing out that second arm. Send those hips back. Always squeezing the glutes at the top. Good. Share on that good morning to have a little bit straighter knee. So not where it's hyperextended, but where you feel those hamstrings. There you go. Over and up. Nice work. Staying strong, Amy. Up and down. Good, Jean. Beautiful, Kathy. And everybody rest. Woo! All right, final bit of blood work. Blood flow. Let's work a little bit of cross crawl to finish, everybody. Knee to the opposite elbow, or if that feels a little bit off balance, you can go straight arm, straight leg. Breathing out as you draw that knee up. We're gonna go first half in front of the body, and then we're gonna take a full minute for this last bit. Second half, the option of the behind the body cross crawl. So if you want to follow me on that, we pick the foot up, we reach for the opposite ankle, and then we switch side to side. You can either just tap the ankle with your fingertips, or you can physically grab onto the heel of the foot. Making sure you don't cramp in the hamstring in the process. Beautiful. 10 more seconds. Nice little cool down for the body. And resting there. Nice work. Give yourself and your friends a round of applause. Great to see all your faces this morning. Let's grab a drink, and then we'll get a good stretch in. Moose, thank you for being a good dog. All right, hinge stretch first. You can use a wall, you can use the back of a chair, a countertop. You're gonna push and get to the wall, or push down into the countertop, walking the feet back. Little bend in those knees, and then you're gonna lower the head between the arms. Moose, come here. You're right in this space. So lowering that head down, breathing into the back of the body 3 to 5 times. One more time. On that next inhale, go ahead and come on up to standing. Great job. Alrighty, we're going to finish it down on the floor for the rest. So when you're ready, let's make your way onto your back. We'll get a nice low back stretch to finish it out. Excuse me, Moose. All right, so start with that double knee to chest. One of my favorites for loosening up that low back. As you come on down, hug those legs in and just gently rock your body side to side. Using your breath as you relax that body, calm everything down. Good. Next, we're going to keep that right leg tucked in. Extend your left leg straight out. Actively think about pushing that left thigh into the ground. Start with that ankle roll on that right leg. Rolling that ankle around. And then good. Go ahead and turn it the other direction. Good. From here, we're going to move into the glute stretch on the right leg. You're going to take the right leg and try to pull it across the body towards the left side. Just feel that outer hip start to open a bit. You can either hold it static here if you want to guide the leg up and down a little bit. Good. When you finish that, place the foot down in between sides. 5 glute bridges. Using it as an opening for the front of the hips. Try to lengthen the back of the body. Just nice and smooth. Up 5 times. Chin into the chest. Feel the front of the hips lengthen. Avoid any kind of pinching sensation in the back. Good. And then after you finish 5 of those, now we'll do the opposite side. Starting with the right leg, you're going to slide that heel down. Straighten it out. Interlace the hands. Draw the left knee towards the left shoulder. And ankle rolls on that left foot. Good. Go ahead and turn that ankle the other direction. Nice. And then when you're ready, take that left knee, pulling it across the body like you're trying to bring it towards your right shoulder. Looking to lengthen out the glute on that left side. And then once again, you can either hold it there. If you don't feel a big stretch there, then I'll start to move it through, just kind of keeping some motion through that hip. Beautiful. All righty. Once you finish that glute stretch there, roll onto your left side. We're going to do that sideline stretch for the right quad. Go ahead and prop yourself up on that left ankle. Extend both legs. And then we're going to grab the foot of that right leg. Pull that heel towards the glute. Driving the thigh back. Nice work, everyone. One good thing about the warmer weather, the parks are even quieter. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it is what it is. Release this side, or swing yourself around or roll on over. Same thing on that second side. Bending that top leg. And then I was doing what I tell you not to do. So I'm kind of like slouching to this shoulder. So try to have some awareness. Long neck, lifting up out of that downside shoulder. 10 more seconds here. Right, after we finish this side, we're going to return to our back, or if you want to come to a seated position, figure 4 stretch. So whichever version you choose, we're going to start with the right leg, taking the right foot to your left thigh, and then hugging that leg in. And with the right leg crossed over, you want to draw the foot and toes back towards that right knee. If you're on the ground here on your back, you can add a little sciatic nerve floss to that left leg at the same time. So extend that leg up, drawing the toes towards your face. Then you're going to point the left foot towards the sky. Draw it back towards you. Hold it in that position as you bend the knee down. Tucking it in, and then extend back out. Do it twice more, just moving at your own pace there. You know, ideally, we like to think that like we don't feel a whole lot in the back of that sciatic nerve. Shows that you have good glide and slide of that nerve along the posterior portion of the leg. If you do feel a little bit of some stiffness or some discomfort, within reason, obviously, might be a movement that's a little bit more benefit for you. Maybe you've gotten some traction around that. When you finish that last time, release that side, and same thing on the second side. Left foot crosses over the right thigh. Hug that right leg in. Draw the foot and toes of the left foot back towards the left knee. Now, when you're ready, if you want to add that sciatic nerve floss, extending the right leg this time, toes back, point the foot away, draw the toes back, and then hold it in that back position as you bend up and down. Nice, everyone. Couple more breaths. Plugging that leg in at the end, and then when you're ready, go ahead and release. Fantastic. Final two, happy baby, and then we'll lie flat on the back, elbows on the insides of the knees, grabbing the outer feet or shins. And just try to be a little playful with this one, rocking your body side to side. You need to lift the head up, draw that chin back in. Maybe close those eyes and just feel into your body for a moment. Good. Once you've loosened up that low back with that happy baby, you can release those legs. Reach those arms up to overhead as you start to extend those legs straight out. So imagine you just woke up in the morning and you're trying to stretch your body. Maybe you're like a teenager again and it's like 10 o'clock and you still haven't gotten out of bed and you're like, oh, I don't want to get up. Yes, I have some step teenagers that I've heard that from a few times. So stretching long, smile. And then when you're ready, bring the arms down to the sides. I invite you to bring one hand onto the belly, one hand onto the area of your heart, and just practice being still. Sounds like an odd thing to need to practice, but it's probably one of the activities our society could benefit most from. Take a moment to be quiet and calm. Try to pause from all the things that you have thinking about to do in the day. Feel into your body, feel the belly rise. Feel the chest fall. Great time to show some kindness to your body. Thanking it for what it can do today. All right, everyone. Thanks for moving with us. Take as long as you'd like, and we'll move with you next time.